What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him. Or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skull epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Ichor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh.
Elizabeth, are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth! Now would be a good time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need. Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
Women's right to vote.
Goody.
I may...
I hope the wall of Aloysius Dawson successfully keeps the epidemic outside the West End. The great Doris Fletcher led some sort of skull nest in her theatre. That's just disgusting. I hope the wall of Aloysius Dawson successfully keeps the epidemic outside the West End.
Aloysius Dawson has been among us as a mortal for so long. It's difficult to believe he is now really one of us.
I heard the Guard of Priwen is about to strike us. We should go while we can.
Aloysius Dawson has been among us as a mortal.
Welcome back, my mortal peer. Let me look at you with my piercing new eyes.
Good evening, Aloysius. How do you feel?
Mr. Dawson to you. You may be my maker, and I thank you for that. But we must not forget etiquette.
Forgive me, sir.
You're forgiven, my dear doctor. And if you need anything, even the most expensive items to help you in your mission, you just have to ask. I'll be glad to sell you some of the rarest goods I own.
I may need equipment and some rare items to protect the city, sir.
Yes?
How is the sanitary situation in the city?
Hopeless. It's as if new sources of infection continue to spread, even though you've cleansed the theater.
What is the situation in the club?
Lord Redgrave has just informed me that we keep on fighting the Guard of Priwen. I can't wait to test my new physical abilities against mortals.
The vampire hunters are dangerous, sir. They may be mortals, but they are trained and quite efficient, believe me.
Bah! Nonsense! How could they resist me, now that I can endure almost anything? I feel victory in my veins, thanks to you.
Is Lord Redgrave fighting too?
Yes. I've heard he's out every night, hunting the hunters. He's showing us all how things are done when true English blood feels endangered.
How do you feel since your return?
I think I may have acquired and read every forbidden document about vampires and how it feels to be an immortal. I even own a copy of the Blood Bible, but nothing compares to what I know now.
What is this Blood Bible?
It's supposedly the only documented evidence that an immortal attended the Last Supper. You should read it, if you ever find it.
What have you discovered?
That mortals are but puppets in our hands. I can sense a rat running in our attic right now. Nothing can stop me doing precisely what I want.
What is your plan, if I may ask? Not for the city, but for your own future.
My future and the future of this city are one, Dr. Reed. Step by step, London will soon be the center of the greatest empire ever.
Would it be insolent to ask what the first step will be?
I have ordered the assassination of my entire family to ensure I'm the sole heir to my fortune. I can't take the risk of facing another immortal Dawson.
When will that be achieved?
We should gain total control of Europe and the Western colonies, and aim to put an immortal king on the throne within a century.
Are you already planning a coup?
Of course not! My only interest is in the protection of the crown. I want to turn the legitimate king or queen into a powerful eikon.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Dawson. You've lived a long life and have surely met some interesting and influential people.
Sod off! I don't reveal my life to someone I hardly know, whether he be my maker or not.
I beg your pardon.
You heard me. And remember, I already wear a protective amulet against your mental intrusions, Dr. Reed. I've studied your species for decades.
Goodbye, Mr. Dawson.
Don't you see we're trapped? What if McCullum decides to launch a full-scale attack against the club? I heard the Guard of Prewen has installed a new headquarters somewhere nearby. What are they after, I wonder? Don't you see we're trapped? What if McCullum decides to launch a full-scale attack against the club?
Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
Welcome, Lance-Bearer. To what do we owe this pleasure?
I've located the true origin of the epidemic, and I'm about to end it.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
This is more important than the club, you, or me. This is London's last hope.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
Now go, Lance-Bearer. Craft a legend to be sung to Ascalon recruits for the ages to come.
I'll be honest with you. I don't particularly mind that Fergal Bancher is dead, for he always made me feel uneasy. Thanks to you, we have a new powerful member, Dr. Reed. I'll be honest with you. I don't particularly mind that Fergal Bancher is dead, for he always made me feel uneasy.
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
no protection against malevolence and trickery.
If McCullum really drank the blood of King Arthur, then I may have found another vital ingredient for my recipe. Good evening, Vampire Hunter.
Are you here to mock me, Reed?
Not at all, McCullum. I am here because I need you.
Really? I'm intrigued. Speak up, then.
I need the blood of a king. The blood of Arthur. I'm certain you possess it, and I must have it.
The Guard's most sacred and precious relic. Why would you? You found Marshall's memoirs. I should have destroyed that book.
I need the antidote to save this city, McCullum.
It is within me to take your words as truth. I want to, but I must know more. What precisely are your plans?
A creature called a disaster is about to be unleashed. It falls upon me, as once it did Marshall, to stop it before the whole country is ravaged.
I should have destroyed that book. And yet, I wish I could join this battle alongside you. But this crusade is not mine to fight.
Do you not understand? We wanted the same thing from the outset. A means to end this vampire epidemic.
Not enemies. Maybe that is so. Take it then. I see no other hope for this city. If this is some trick, you will be damned, Dr. Reed.
Thank you. Can we speak more?
Indeed. Why not?
Why are you here?
The man who raised me after the brutal murder of my parents. He's buried here.
Were both your parents killed by vampires?
Yes. And yet worse. My father returned to Dublin a vampire and tore out my mother's throat.
And who was this man?
Carl Eldritch. One-time leader of Prewin. He killed my father in front of me. Helped me hunt my brother Ain after teaching me how to kill leeches.
How are you adapting to immortality?
I feel so powerful it gives me shivers. I could be the greatest vampire hunter ever. Your worst nightmare, in truth.
Will you leave the Guard now that you are what you are?
Are we not creatures of deceit? I could hide my nature from my men, or name a successor. Go my own way. I know not yet my path.
Will you hunt me down?
You're a vicious beast, Reed. Perhaps the city needs you at this time, but I shall not forget what you did.
Farewell, my progeny.
Do not stretch your luck, Reed.
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage. There it is. Insulin. Much more efficient than garlic against blood poisoning and sepsis, and much less dangerous for me. Thank you, Dr. Polescu.
Yes?
Goodbye, Edgar. I'm certain we'll meet again. The blend seems stable. Time to go and find Harriet in this...